Welcome to this special episode of It's All Life podcast. This is episode number 5. Your money frame is broken, or your money frame is broke. Either way, it's not putting you in a good place. But this conversation is for 95% of you, 99% of you maybe. And that is our money frame. I want to talk to you today about why most people never make money. Why almost nobody ever makes money. So I was doing a little research and it was like, how much, because my top main coaching program for my real estate agents is called 500K coaching, which is agents who want to make $500,000 or more a year. And it's like, okay, so what does it mean if you make $500,000 a year? Well, in terms of income, where you rank, if you Google it, what's the top 1% of income earners in America make in a year? It's $500,000. So for you to make $500,000 in a year, it puts you in the top 1%. Now, what if you go from 500,000 and you just double that to $1 million? What percentage of people make $1 million or more in a year? And the number goes from 1% making $500,000 a year to 1/10 of 1% making $1 million or more a year. And I'm sitting in a room at our Round Table of Throne Summit right now, and there are multiple people in that room that make over $1 million a year. And so you're sitting there in a room realizing that I am in a group with people who are in the top 1/10 of 1%. Now, I don't know what it is when you get to 2 million, where you're doing that, what percentage goes from there. But just getting to that is a place that only 1 in 1,000 people will ever make $1 million or more in a year. Now, here's what I discovered. First year I made over $1 million was 2015 or 2016 in a year. And that was like, I was over 50 years old and it took me all that time, and I was, and I'm like, why could I have not made it sooner? Was it impossible? Was it too hard for me? Was I not smart enough, or what? And I talk to people all the time, and I talk about all the time that when I do events, I ask real estate agents, how many of you want to make over $1 million in a year? And 99% of every room I've ever spoken to, without exception, 99% raise their hand. And so and yet only 1/10 out of 1% actually do. So 99% say they want to, 1/10 of 1% are actually going to do it. Now, I would say that probably more than 1/10 of 1% of real estate agents do it, especially full-time real estate agents. There's a higher percentage just because you are in an entrepreneurial game where you actually can make over that. If you're a restaurant manager, your odds of making $1 million a year or more are almost impossible, right? If you're in retail, or if you're a normal employee, it's very, very rare. Even a doctor, even if you're a professional, but you're in a W-2 position or you're in the box, it's very rare that they're going to make over $1 million a year. Real estate agents are people that come into the game going like, hey, I want to make a lot of money. So why do more agents not make more money? Because you still have agents exiting the industry like an epidemic, like a pandemic is here. They just exit the industry. They get in, they try it, they quit. It's too easy to get in, too easy to get out, and they quit. And here's the reason. Your money frame is broken. The way you think about money is broken. I'm going to break this down into 3 pieces because I'm here at my Round Table of Thrones Summit with my Round Table of Thrones members. And so today's going to be a little shorter podcast, only be 30 minutes here, but I want you to think about the framework of how you look at money and making money and having money. So there are 3 parts to this. One is your self-view, how you see yourself, okay? I'm just not, money's not that important to us, and I'm not the kind of person that can make $1 million a year. Most people don't see themselves as capable of making $1 million a year or even $500,000 a year. They just don't think they're good enough. They don't think they're smart enough. They don't think they have enough education. They're too young. They're too old. They're too this. They're too that. Whatever it is. And their story is, what is your story, your beliefs about you and your capacity, your ability to make a lot of money? I'm going to use $1 million a year because we've got a new event coming out in August called Millions Live. You can go to millionslive.com, check it all out. It's for real estate agents and entrepreneurs who want to learn from millionaires and multimillionaires, from people making 7 and over 9 up to 9 figures a year, that are going to be in that room training you on how you create a money frame that will allow you to make $1 million a year or more. So it's called Millions Live. Go to millionslive.com and check that out. So, but I'm going to talk about the three frames that you got to do. First is you, how you see yourself, okay? Your self view. Number two is your money view, okay? Your money view. What is your views about money? So I just want you to think right now, as you're thinking about, as you think about money, what are some of the stories that you hold or have held in your mind, like beliefs about money? So it's just that money is blank, okay? Money is X, money is Y, money is Z. Or how about this? People that make a lot of money are X. Rich people are Y. These are our stories. These are the beliefs. These are things that are embedded in our head, and those views about money dramatically impact our ability to attract money, to make money, to earn money. So number one is your self view. Number two is your money view, your views about money. And number three is then your view about the path. What is the plan to make a lot of money? Because I was talking on a coaching call earlier this week, and somebody's like, well, the most important thing is you need to start with a plan. Like, what is your plan to make money? Well, what is the plan? So I'm going to start with the plan, and then I'm going to come back to your money view. So your view of the plan, your view of the path, your view of money, and your view of yourself. So number one, let's talk about the view of the path. What is the path to making money? Now, 99% of Americans, 90%, whatever it is, the vast majority of Americans, here's the path. Okay, here it is. You ready? Like, you know this. Like, if you're when you're young, when you're in school, you're in junior high school, and they start talking, what are you going to be when you grow up? What are you going to do when you grow up? Right? This is the path. What are you going to do when you grow up? And then there is a path that's been laid out for us. Number one, go to school, get a good education. Right? You're going to go to school, graduate from high school, you got to go to college, because come on, you can't get a good job if you don't go to college. But notice what is the assumption there? You can't get a good job if you don't go to college. The assumption is the path is a job. That is the assumed path. This is how you make money in America. You go to school, get a degree so you can get a job. Now, you can get a job without a college degree, but you can't get a good job. So you need a good job, so you need a good education. So you need to go to college. Okay, so you go to college, get your degree, get an education, $100,000 in student debt or whatever. Okay, but now I can go get a good job making $50,000 a year, which is the average college graduate makes. Their starting salary of an average college graduate with a 4-year degree is in the 50s, like $55,000 a year. Okay, so what you can expect. After 10 years, you can be up to $60,000, $70,000 a year with college education and a good job. Now, there's some degrees you can get that your average starting salary is going to be $70,000 a year, and you can actually get up to 6 figures with that. I've got coaching members that have been in real estate for less time than it takes to get a 4-year college degree and make more than $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month with no debt. So I just want you to think about the path that the normal path is: go to school, get a good education, get a degree, and go get a job. And then you're going to save up. Now, what's the next part of the path? Well, you need a house. Home, the American dream, right? Buy a house. How do you buy a house? Well, you save up for it. So if you're going to get a house, you have to save up for it. What about a car? You need to save up for a car. If you want to go on vacation, you save up for a vacation. So this is the path that most people have been raised with. We were raised with in America, and I don't know about other countries, but in America, this is the path, right? Okay? This is the path. Go to school, get a good education, get a job, save up money for the things that you want, and then you're going to work for 40, 50 years, and then you are going to retire, which means you don't have to work anymore, and you're going to live off of savings and your pension or Social Security, which is not a lifestyle. That's survival. That's subsistence. It just doesn't work for most people. And most people, after they retire, if that's their path, they end up dying very, very quickly. Okay? You don't have to like it. It's just the way it is. So the path, my friend, that money path is broken. If you see somebody that lives in a nice house, and you look at the neighbor, you look at the people that are like, they're on these first class vacations and they're going to these super nice places and all this kind of stuff. You see somebody driving a supercar. You see somebody driving a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something like that. Nobody looks and goes like, wow, look at that car. I wonder where they went to college. Do they? You don't think that. If you see somebody that is driving a $500,000 car, $1 million car, or if they live in a $5 million house, nobody looks at that and go like, man, I wonder what their degree is in. when you look at people who are super wealthy, people who are super successful, if that people that make a lot of money, their path is very different. Their path is a path of entrepreneurship. It is a path of ownership, of business. It is not a path of a college education, period. It's not. Okay? Now, do you need to know a few things? Yeah, you need to know a few things. But I mean, I talk to people all the time. I look at people all the time, and college education is not what has given people the lifestyle of their dreams ever. Unless if you want to be an attorney and that's your calling, or you want to be a doctor, or you want to be a CPA or an accountant, yes, you need a college education to get that. If you want to be a nurse, I love it. Awesome. Nothing wrong with that path because that's your path. That's what you want. Okay. But that is not a money path. That is a calling path. That is a career path. It's like, this is what I want to do. Now, can you make a lot of money doing some of that stuff? Of course. So it's not like there is no way to make that path work. But the key is what is the path that will let me make the money I want to have the life of my dreams? Now, the reason I do all this whole conversation is to primarily an audience, you guys that are going to be watching this and that are watching this live right now, welcome everybody. By the way, good to see you. Is because you want to make a lot of money. That's the reason real estate agents get their license. Let's not kid ourselves. So this now comes to the second piece of this is our money beliefs, our beliefs about money. What is your story about money? So I want you to type in the comments right now, what are some of the stories that you grew up with about money that you look at the belief and go like, that's a broken belief. That belief does not work, or that belief keeps me broke. Okay, what are some of those beliefs? So type in the comments your beliefs. I'm going to give you some that I grew up with. Okay, money is the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil. Basically, just play that out. What does that mean? Money's bad. Money's bad. Now, do you have to have money? Yeah, but money's not that important. Oh, there's another story. Yeah, money's not that important. Money will not make you happy. Yes, money's not going to make you happy. Why? Because we don't have much and we're happy and we're broke. So if I had a lot of money, would I be happier? See, so there's a story that you create in our head or that is fed into our brain and we accept it as reality. There's more to life than money. Okay, that's an interesting belief. There's more to life than money. Is there? Of course there's more to life than money. Hello? Let me ask you a question. Is there more to life than a vacation? Is there more to life than a vacation? So does that mean that you should never go on vacation or you shouldn't have very many of them? What about this? Food. All I care about is food. Come on, dude. There's more to life than food. Hello? Are you kidding me? Isn't there? Is there not more to life than food? Of course there's more to life than food. But is food important? Yes. So what about this? There's more to life than water. There's more to life than relationships. Isn't there? There really is. There is more to life than being married. There is more to life than being married. What about having kids? What about eating? Well, I don't need to eat. I'm married. Married's everything. All I need to be married. No, my friend, there's more to life than being married. Okay? What about being content and happy with your life? Is there more to life than being happy? Of course there's more to life than being happy. There is. There is more to life than raising kids. There's more to life than having a dog. So does that mean I shouldn't have a dog? I'm going to get a dog. You don't need a dog. There's more to life than a dog. Well, hello. Of course there's more to life than a dog. So here's the point I'm making. Every single thing in life that is important to you is not important because it's the only thing in your life. It's all of it. There's more to life than exercise. Come on, there's more to life than health. Isn't there? There's more to life than health. I mean, even if you have cancer, even if you're sick, even if you have both of your legs amputated, there's more to life than legs. So is that an argument that we shouldn't have legs? Is that an argument that being healthy is not important? Is that an argument that you shouldn't exercise? There's more to life than exercise. I mean, come on. You can exercise all day, every day, but if you don't have food and water, you're going to die. So there's more to life than exercise. Would we all agree there's more to life than exercise? Of course there's more to life than exercise. Then why are we making an argument about not exercising regularly because there's more to life than that? And my point is we make this argument about money, there's more to life than money. Well, of course there's more to life than money. What do you think, I'm an idiot? You think somebody that makes $1 million a year, that their perspective is money is the only thing in life? Screw the world. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, anything else. It doesn't matter about my body, my health, my fitness, my relationships, my happiness. None of that matters as long as I have money. Money is the only thing in the world. Who makes that argument? Oh, people that make millions. Yes, people that make millions, all they care about is money. Really? So let me ask you this. Why is it important to you to believe that? Because you've heard this. Like, all they care about is money. You're telling me that because they have a lot of it, that's all they care about. Why do you think that's true? And why is it important for you to believe that somebody has a lot of money, that that's all they care about? That they're greedy or they take advantage of people? All these stories that we have in our brains. Okay, if you guys are feeling this, like if you hear these stories and you've heard these, type in the comments, I've heard this. These stories, I've heard these stories, I've held these stories, I believe it. Just give me in the comments, because this lets me see, am I actually connecting with with you guys and who I'm talking to? These stories are deeply embedded. For me, they were deeply embedded in my head. Even when I'm like, I want to make more money. I want to make more money. I want to have a nicer house. I want to have a nicer car. I want to take nice vacations. I like this. I like that. I like this. I grew up in a mobile home and on a dirt road and all that. And it was like expensive things. I liked them. And I would like justify why, well, yeah, but there's more to life than money. Of course there's more to life than money. But if I have more money, I can enjoy more things in life. Is there anything wrong with that? Well, yeah, but people that have a lot of money tend to be greedy. Excuse me? Really? Is this your story going to be that people that... So the greedy people are the people that have a lot of money. So the people that give away $5 million a year to charity, they're the greedy ones. Well, yeah, but I bet they made 200 million and they only gave away 5 million, those greedy bastards. All they want to talk about is money. You want to know who talks more about money? Broke people. When they're broke is all that. We sat around, I can remember sitting at my grandparents' kitchen table and all they want to talk about is money. No, you're like, well, what do they talk about? The price of everything. Oh, can you believe how expensive eggs are now? And the price of gas. And it's like, and grandmother would literally sit at the kitchen table while we're eating and she's clipping coupons and she would only go grocery shopping on Sundays because that was double coupon day. And she would only buy stuff if it was on sale. So she's scouring the newspaper and she had like 3 or 4 grocery stores that she would go to. Why? To save money. And the amount of time that she would spend trying to save 25 cents on a can of green beans, and when they were on sale, she would buy 10 cans. Why? Because she's trying to figure out how to spend less money. Why? Because she's obsessed with money. Guys, you want to talk about people that are obsessed with money? It's broke. When you are, it's almost like it's like air. And you've probably heard this analogy. People say like, well, money won't make you happy. Well, neither does oxygen. I mean, did you wake up this morning going like, oh, I'm so happy today. Look, I got oxygen. Listen, feel that? I love it. Now, you should be grateful for oxygen because oxygen's kind of important, right? But it doesn't make you happy until you don't have any, right? Oxygen's not that important until you don't have any, and then it's all you can think about. Same with money. When you have plenty of money, you have lots of money, you don't have to think about money. You don't have to think about how much something costs. You don't have to think about the price because you have all of it you want. And I talk about this all the time. I talk about, people are like, yeah, but, you don't need to buy a $6 latte. $6 latte, are you kidding me? That is a waste of money. Well, what is the difference between a $6 latte and a $1 cup of coffee or a 75-cent cup of coffee? They're both wastes of money. You don't need that caffeine. Hello, excuse me. You lived for years fine without caffeine. Well, I started drinking when I was 8. Well, then you lived for 8 years without caffeine and you did fine. So all you're doing is justifying based on your parameters of what you justify as, oh, that's a good use of money versus that's a waste of money. Some people look at a $100,000 car and go, that's a $100,000 car, it's a waste of money. Guys, today a $100,000 car is just a normal car. But it has power windows. Hello, I didn't have power windows growing up. We didn't have, air conditioner in a car is a freaking luxury. It's a waste of money. You do not need air conditioning in a car. And the reason I know you don't need air conditioning in a car is because I grew up until I was in probably junior high. I don't know, probably earlier than that. No, junior high. Maybe fifth grade. We had cars that didn't have electricity, that didn't have air conditioning. In Texas, we had power windows. You rolled them, you had to use your power, and you rolled them down with a handle. You need electric windows? What a waste of money. That's a waste of money. And I remember people going like, I'm never gonna get those electric windows because it's just one more thing to break. Okay, show me a car today without electric windows. It's a luxury, you don't need it, it's a waste of money, but we waste money on stuff that we don't need all the time. All the time. You don't need all that stuff. So why are you arguing for why I don't need a 5,000 square foot house? Because say you see somebody that has a 5,000 square foot house, and they're like, oh, that's ridiculous. I would never want to be in a house that big. Why not? Because I wouldn't want to have to clean it. Well, why would you clean it? Why don't you have somebody else clean it? Yeah, but that's just a waste of money. A waste of money. Do you what? Employ somebody to come clean your house? Create a job so somebody else can come clean your house? So you don't have to do it because you don't want to clean house. You told me you want to keep a big house clean like this. You don't have to. Somebody else can keep it clean for you. So what is your stories about money that is broken, that is keeping you? You say you want to make more money. You say you want to make $1 million in a year, and yet every story that you hold in your head, every belief that you hold about money says, I just have a problem making a lot of money, because if I make a lot of money, it makes me a bad person or an evil person or a greedy person or a materialistic person. So therefore, all these stories, guys, you are literally repelling money. Here's another belief about money. You'll work hard for your money. Now here's the problem with that. It doesn't mean you shouldn't work hard. Okay, but if I believe you work hard for your money, that means that making money is hard. So if making $50,000 a year is hard work, or $100,000 a year is hard work, then what is it going to take to make $500,000 a year? Well, that's insane. To go from $100,000 a year to $500,000 a year, I got to work 5 times harder? No, my friend. Money and hard work are not connected. Okay, the guy that picks up your garbage works hard. Period. He works hard. Is hard work making him a lot of money? No. Does he work harder or less hard than a CPA that makes $200,000 a year? Physically, he works much harder. So, but as long as my belief is that the amount of money I make is directly tied to how hard I work, you're going to never be willing to even consider making $500,000 or $1 million or $2 million or $10 million a year. Why? Because your brain goes like, I don't want to work that hard. As if the amount of effort you put in is going to be equivalent to the amount of money you're going to make. Hard work equals more money. Harder work, more money. So more effort, more money. No. Money, you got to disconnect a belief or a story that the amount of money I make is directly related to the amount of effort I put in. Here's what it's connected to: value. The more value I can create in the marketplace, the more value I add to people, the more money I make. It's not how hard I work, it's how much value I add that people will exchange money for something of value, something they perceive of value. So it is an exchange of goods or services for something of value. That's what money is. That's how money moves. That's exclusively how money moves, is the exchange of money for something of value, whether it's something that somebody does for you or something that somebody gives you. So it's a goods or services in exchange for a value, and that's how money moves. Okay, except when the government's involved, that's a whole different conversation. Okay, it's a whole different conversation. But if my story is I got to work hard to make money, and then the other one is I got to save up. So I make money and save up, and if someday, if I save enough money, then I will be comfortable and I'll have everything I need. How's that working? I just read a report the other day, and I've heard this before, but today in 2022, I think the report was done at the end of 2022, they were surveying people of, if you had an emergency, do you have $1,000 extra money in savings that you could use to meet that emergency? Do you have $1,000 in an emergency fund that you could use? And it said a vast majority of Americans. We are the richest freaking country in the world, more money, it's just insane. Okay, the more money than anywhere else in the world, and the vast majority of Americans right now do not have an extra $1,000 to solve an emergency. They don't have $1,000 in the bank to solve a problem in the richest country in the world. Why? Your money system is broke. My friend, if you don't have $1,000 in the bank right now of extra money that you could just like, okay, I have a problem, I need to do something. I need to fix a problem right now, and you don't have $1,000 to solve it, would you not agree with me? It's not just that you're broke, it's that your money frame, the frame with which you look at money, is broken. And this is getting worse and worse because the haves and the have-nots, that divide between those that have money and those that don't have money, is getting further and further and further and further apart. It's going to continue to do that. It's going to continue to break that way. So if you don't change your frame about money, you're going to be broke forever. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse, because that's what we're seeing happening in America. Is the people that are rich are getting, during COVID, the wealthy got wealthier like crazy, and people that were broke, they have gotten more and more broke, more and more in debt. Credit card debt is right now at the highest it's ever been in the United States. Credit card debt. That means people are spending more than they're making. Okay, that's the second piece. The third piece then is your view about yourself. And that is, I'm not good enough, smart enough, don't know how to make a lot of money. I've tried it, I just can't do it. I don't know how to do it. And what it comes down to is this feeling, I'm not worthy to be rich. I'm not worthy to do something to make a lot of money. So it's your self-view. And I see this all the time with people that get into the real estate game or the entrepreneurial game, whether it's real estate, being a real estate agent, or real estate investors, or starting your own business of any type. Is they get in and they're like, I want to be a coach. I want to be an investor, but I don't have money, and I'm scared. I've never owned my own home, or I've never owned a nice property, and that's a lot of money. And it's partly just their story about money, but it's also their story about themselves. You go back to this idea of $1,000. People are like, I don't have $1,000 to pay for an emergency. And I guarantee you, when you don't have $1,000, you're like, is $1,000 a lot of money? It's a lot of money. No, it's not. Compared to what? Compared to what? Compared to your broke mentality, compared to your broken money frame, $1,000 is a lot of money. I'm telling you right now, my friend, this goes back to the 99% of realtors say, I want to make $1 million in a year. When you are making $1 million in a year, $1,000 is not a lot of money. $1,000 is 3 hours of work. It's just, that's what it is. Because for you to make $1 million in a year, just think about how much you're making a day. Okay, how much you making a day if you're making $1 million a year? It's thousands of dollars a day. Okay, it just is. It's nearly $3,000 a day. You're making nearly $3,000 a day. So if I'm working 9 hours a day, 3 hours of work is $1,000. I put in 3 hours of work, that's $1,000. But if you're making $20 an hour, that's $60. So $60 is a lot of money. Isn't that interesting? So you got to change the money frame, but also see how you see yourself. I'm worthy to make $1 million in a year. And this was one of my biggest problems. I could not see myself making $1 million a year. Part of it was tied to my money beliefs, and part of it was tied to my self-image. It was just not feeling like I was worthy of doing it. So here's what I want you to think about. Where is my money frame broken? Is it in how I'm seeing myself and how I look at money and wealth and rich people? And this comes back to your self view. Is if your view of rich people is that they are evil, greedy, materialistic, take advantage of other people, whatever. If that's your view of people, then that is your self view of the rich version of you, which means you can't ever be rich because your subconscious mind will not let you, because you don't want to be a bad person. Okay, and then there's the path of like, go to school, get a good education. If you think a college degree has any connection with being rich, wake up and look around. Right? So all of these is, you got to challenge the money frame. Now this is specifically what we're going to be doing through this process that we're going to be doing at Millions Live, millionslive.com. This is for real estate agents, real estate investors, entrepreneurs who are saying like, I want to make $1 million. I want to create a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure business. But I've never made more than $100,000 a year. I've never made more than $80,000 a year. I've never made more than $250,000 a year. And you're going to be in a room with millionaires and multimillionaires, learning directly from them, people that are earning 7, 8, and 9 figures, of how do they think different about themselves? How do they think different about money? How is their path different? What is the systems, the strategies? How did they do it? How are they doing it today? How did they start? What was the path that they went? And we're going to train you on this so that when you're done, your money frame will be completely different. Because here's the thing about your money frame. If your money frame is broken, you cannot, if you have a $100,000 or a job mentality money frame, You cannot go to $1 million with that frame intact. It's not a matter of like, I need to just change the frame. No, you have to destroy, eliminate, completely tear down and annihilate the old money frame so that you can rebuild a new money frame that will allow you to make millions. It's not because people are smarter than you. It's not because they have a secret or there's some tactic or strategy that makes them millions of dollars a year. It is because their money frame is different than your money frame. So if you want to change your financial situation, it's not just a matter of working harder, making more money. It is a matter of changing the way you think about yourself, the way you think about money, and the way you think about money and wealth is created. That, my friends, are the changes you need to make. Now I want to hear from you guys because I'm going to get off here because I've got to go. I've got a mastermind I've got to go run. What are you taking away from this? So type in the comments, what are you taking away from this? How has this convicted you? What is hitting you on this? If you have questions, post those questions in the comments. I'll be in here this week answering those questions as well. And also help me inform future stuff. But guys, money is a part of your life. And to say there's more to life than money, of course there's more to life than money. But money is a resource that allows you to have more control and more options in your life. And that, my friend, is what I want for you. Now, if you really, really want to learn from the best of the best in how to do this and how to create a 7-8 figure income or more, go to millionslive.com. We got our early bird tickets going on sale right now. Millionslive.com coming up in August. I look forward to seeing you there. Have a great rest of your day. Play to win, my friends, and always expect yes.